everyone, welcome to Eclectric Dreams. Reviews! Yes, I've started to do reviews and I'm basically doing a few in a row. So you'll see my little Pink Floyd t-shirt on a few to start with, because I'm kicking off with a few to start with. First one I'm kicking off, Judas Priest, Firepower. Yeah, everybody else has already reviewed this ages ago, I know, but hey, I've got to get my two penneth in and tell you what I think of it. Basically, is this the best album released by Judas Priest since Rob Halford rejoined the band? Answer, yes. There you go, finished. That's the review. Now, Firepower basically has taken elements from all the periods of Priest, really. There's some wonderful parts that hark back to Stained Class in the 70s, stuff they did in the 80s, some Painkillerish stuff in the 90s. They basically mixed it all together and created a much more coherent album. All the songs pretty much flow into each other quite well. And there's some pretty brutal tracks on there, some pretty beautiful tracks on there, and they even end on a ballad, a quiet song, Sea of Red. They've got an epic one, Rising from Ruins, on there. So they've gone for it. Rising from Ruins, I think that's the one that I would say has a bit of Stained Class in it, as a couple of others do as well. So they've really outclassed themselves from previous albums, I would say, in the recent era. Now, yeah, there's a couple of songs that are similar. Firepower and Flamethrower. Could they have done with this? I mean, there's 14 tracks on this album. Could they have done with cutting some out? Why would they need to? They're Judas Priest, they can do what they want. I would have said, Firepower's enough. Flamethrower, it's a bit similar, so it's a bit superfluous. As it's later on in the album, so it comes up, it's like, rah! I mean, it follows like Rising from Ruins, which is an epic song, so suddenly they go back down to the dirty, grimy, really blisteringly heavy metal stuff, like Firepower is. But you've already got Firepower, so I would say Flamethrower, you could do without it if you wanted to. I have said previously on the only Judas Priest reaction I've done, that of Spectre, that Spectre is a bit dull. It's dishwater dull. It's grey, it's grim, it's dull. And since that was like early May when I put that out, and it's not changed. My view hasn't changed. It's like a phoned-in song. Rob Halford screams his lungs out on it, but the rest of the band are like, yeah, let's do that. Even the guitar solo is like a little phoned in. It's like, yeah, we'll do a quick one. Finished. So that's a low point of the album. No album's perfect, but this is pretty close in many ways. There's about 8 tracks on this album that are just freaking awesome. Of the ones they released, like I say, Firepower, good solid opening, good solid heavy metal thrusting track. Lightning Strike, which was the first single, that just swung me straight away. It was like, yeah! I mean, that was good 80s style Judas Priest on there. Never the Heroes is a good solid sort of sing-along sort of sounding one. It's not as gentle or as stomping as something like United or a song like that, but it's in that sort of ilk, and I really rather like it. Children of the Sun, Trader's Gate, No Surrender. The songs are just brilliant. There's a hell of a lot of brilliant guitaring going on in here as well. It's great that Glenn Tipton was able to do his parts on this, because of course now, because of his Parkinson's, can't really tour. He's done some, I heard, that it did 1 or 2 songs here and there on some of the tour. There's a lot of people going like, well, some people have heard online claiming that he didn't do any of the guitar parts, that Andy Sneap, who produced it, did the guitar parts. Might have done some, might not have done any. It might have been all Glenn Tipton, but there's people out there going like, no, we've been in the industry for years, we know that he couldn't have done it. Oh, but you know he couldn't have done it, but you actually don't know. You're just claiming it. So to them. I reckon Glenn Tipton did a lot of it, if not all of it. He would have had plenty of time to do it. After all, there's plenty of equipment there to help him. There's plenty of patience on Judas Priest's part to make sure that he could do it all. So, something to say that. Anyway, this album is a surefire heavy metal modern masterpiece. Best Judas Priest album since Painkiller, but it's not Painkiller 2. It's not all out balls to the wall, thrashy style all the way through. There's one or two tracks that thrash about a bit. Most of them definitely hark back more to the 80s and the 70s sounds mixed in with the more modern Priest style. This is a great album, well worth investing in if you like Priest, if you like heavy metal, want to get. See you for another review. Hope you enjoyed this one. Bye bye.